All right, we back in Laker land. 7 Mitchell. We got Dan the Laker fan in the building. Make sure you guys follow Dan the Laker fan on social media and make sure you guys smash that like button for this video and subscribe to the Laker land channel. So, Dan, let me first, I want to talk about Bronny James real briefly, get your thoughts on a couple of things. First of all, what has been your impression in these first 3-4 games of Bronny James as a Laker? Do you have a report card grade, or what's your evaluation overall on Bronny James?
Sure. Well, I watched Bronny James play maybe a game or two and for USC. Right now, obviously, I didn't really put too much stock into it because he was coming off of open heart surgery, right? So what happens is you're not going to be the same athlete right away, and then you kind of play with the fear in your head, that anything could go wrong at any moment. So when I look at Bronny James, I look at a project player who's underdeveloped right now. For example, his jump shot looks broke, like he can't hit it. He was 0 for 8, I believe, last
From
game.
three? Yep.
So
In his high scoring game, he still was 0 for 8 from 3-point line. Yeah, he struggled.
So his jump shot looks broken, right? But a jump shot can be fixed. Now, what can't be fixed, and what I do like about Bronny James is he has an extremely high motor. I see the way his body language is sometimes. He seems a little tentative, especially on the offensive end. But on the defensive end, he is locked in, man. He is shading his guy. I don't know. I remember who recently made a comparison of Bronny. Said he has Lou Dort potential. That is really.
I heard that.
That is really good. That's a really good thing to aim for if you want to make your mark in this league. If you can get that from the point guard position. Now, I don't agree with the Lakers coaching staff. They're playing him at the shooting guard position, which really bothers me. Is like he's not going to ever see minutes at the 2 guard. At least I hope not. He's 6'1.5" with shoes on, right? So he should be right now. They should be running him at some point at the point guard, so we can really see how his decision making is. It's hard to evaluate his offense, but as far as shooting, it seems broken right now. They can fix that. Motor, I like. Defense, I like. And he's got his mother's genes as far as height, but his father's genes as far as athleticism, high energy, and motor, which I think he can make himself into something if he takes that and just works on his weakness, which is dribbling sometimes, lateral movement from side to side when he's handling the rock, and then shooting, especially spotting up. Because in the NBA, you're probably not going to handle the rock a lot unless you're a coveted point guard. So what's next to do? Become one of those Patty Mill types that can move off the dribble and off ball and catch and shoot. That's what he needs to be working on right now.
Yeah, and I think we got plenty of time, depending on, I don't want to, say plenty of time, there's always the clock ticking, but I do feel like Bronny has plenty of time to, improve that game. His father's jump shot was questionable coming into the league, if people remember. Bronny doesn't have the athleticism that his dad has to substitute that. We've talked about that before. LeBron Sr. has God gifted ability. That does not mean that can be passed down from father to son. But right. I do think that Bronny can identify himself as a defensive presence in the league. And you talked about things that you are impressed with when it comes to Bronny, the preparation, getting other guys involved. Those are traits that LeBron James Sr. had coming into the league, even though he wasn't a very efficient scorer. There is still a narrative, Dan, not to cut you off, that Bronny doesn't belong even at this level. He totally got handed this opportunity. From what you've seen in these first 3 games, as a basketball analyst, does that narrative hold any weight, whether you agree with it or not? Does it still hold weight that he doesn't belong?
It's way too early to tell if he belongs there. You can't tell that based off of a couple of summer league games, right? There's all kinds of rookies in the NBA. Some are late bloomers, some never bloom, like Ben Simmons, and then some are early risers. So for me, with Bronny James, I feel like the hate he gets is generational hate due to his father having so much success against the opposition, and most of the haters are either opposing fans or just people that aren't happy LeBron's in LA. You have separate groups of people that are just haters, man. They can, there's no way you should be able to hate on a young kid like this and say whether he belongs or not based off of summer league. He's extremely young, right? The same thing happened with Jalen Hood-Schifino, except Jalen Hood, nobody's talking about him because he doesn't have the James name attached to him, right? No, you don't hear the hate today, and he was actually a top pick, right? He was
That's a
what, top
fact.
16, so top 17. So same thing with Dalton Connect. We're not talking about these guys. We're talking about a 55th pick in the NBA draft. Last I checked, 55th picks aren't really expected to do anything, right?
And
So
the expectations that the media have, oh, Bronny only got 3 points. I'm like,
hmm,
what were y'all expecting? Like, cause y'all had no respect for his game, and so it's just like
they want to
anything
they want to
that they
say
can
I'm
use.
so right. They just want to say I'm right. That's the
Yeah,
whole. That's what a lot of it's sad that sports has become this. Like a lot of the analysts and a lot of people that break down stuff on the internet, they just want to say I'm right. At the end of the day, it's okay to be wrong, man. You don't have to jump the gun and make a crazy prediction based off of summer league just to go back and say I was right when I said they shouldn't have drafted him and this and that. Last like I said, he's the 55th pick. I said it before he got drafted. I'll say it now. I have zero expectations for Bronny other than continue to develop and try to get better. And I wish him the best, man. I want him to succeed. Obviously, he's a Laker, but even if he wasn't, you got to root for young talent, man. How are you hating on young people? It makes no sense to me, right? None.
in sports right now, Dan, at least in my opinion, when you talk about hate, especially from my lens of being a black man, Bronny James and Angel Reese are two of the most hated sports personalities, it seems like right now in sports. Two young black male and female nose clean athletes striving to do good, never really had any trouble. They are just crucified, vilified
Yep.
constantly. When it comes to Bronny, Dan, I guess my question for you is this. LeBron Sr. wanted people to like him. He had to eventually take on this villain role. He alluded to Bronny not really caring or giving a F about that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think Bronny's approach should be towards all this hate? Should Bronny take a villain role? Should he be quiet? Should he how should Bronny carry this?
Um, he should carry it however he wants to carry it. And you mentioned Angel Reese. I'm gonna touch up on her a little bit because I'm a big fan of hers, man. She plays extremely hard. All I ever hear is negativity and race baiting when it comes to them.
That's all it's about. It's
What happened in
slaves.
sports and actually looking for talent? And look, I like athletes that are outspoken and back it up. I don't like athletes that are outspoken and don't back it up. She just broke the record for double doubles, fam, in the WNBA as a rookie.
As a rookie.
People don't understand. Like to me, she's the rookie of the year, and I like Caitlin Clark too. But I think she has a better record than Caitlin as we start right now, and she's breaking records as a rookie. And the only reason people hate her because she's a black, outspoken young lady.
Yep.
And this is the
Yep.
same problem that people had with Muhammad Ali on a different
Yep.
scale. And this is why he's one of my favorite athletes. I got his poster right behind me. It's because I like people that are outspoken and confident, and they know how to deal with the hate. Now, Bronny, I look at Bronny differently. He's a very humble, quiet, reserved young man, and I think that'll suit him well. I think he's doing a great job not responding to anything. If he wants to respond, I have no problem with it. Like I said, I'm a fan of that. I'm a fan of
Right.
it. If I was in their position, Lord knows I'd be saying a lot, So, but I like humility as well. And if he wants to be humble about his opportunity and make the most of it, good for him. Like I said, I root for both of them, man. It just that's the sad part of America. Is like you can't be a minority and be outspoken and be beloved until you reach that point where you're so great, where everybody starts changing the narrative and they start
Narrative.
changing their stance. And to me, I call that fakeness, man. Whenever
Yep.
people change their narrative and they start liking you because you're successful when they hated your early success, that's the worst kind of people. That's the snakes in the grass. So at the end of the day, I root for Angel Reese, I root for Bronny James and any other athlete that's outspoken as long as they back it up.
Back it
And
up. Yep.
we'll see what happens with Bronny. But he's taking the humble high road, and how can you hate on something like that? He's not even saying it. He's not even saying he expects to be great. He's not even saying anything. He just loves basketball.
And
What's
that's
wrong
all
with
he
that?
want to do is play. That's it. At the end of the day, that's all Bronny wants to do is play.
Yep.
What is the ceiling for Bronny this season for you, Dan? Because my hot take pretty much is that, he will play in the G League eventually.
Mhm.
But I believe the Lakers are going to get the history out the way. People do not agree with me. A lot of people don't. But I believe we're going to see Bronny Jr. and LeBron on the basketball court within Premier Week, so we can get that history out the way, and then they're going to send
Yeah.
him down. What's your thoughts on Bronny James, the reality of Bronny James being in an NBA game this year?
He'll definitely play an NBA game. I agree with you. I think they should do it early, and that way, just like chasing the records, you get it out of the way. You can focus on winning. Um, I think it should be game one of the NBA season, to be honest with you.
Yes, yeah,
Especially if at any point we have a double-digit lead, you can afford to throw him out there with his pops for some minutes. That'll be great for everybody. I mean, I want to see it. You know what I mean? I'm sure you want to see it. Everybody
absolutely.
wants to see history be made. And again, this is the greatest franchise, man. Why wouldn't you want history to be made under
Under
our
the
jersey?
umbrella, that's right. That's a fact, bro.
LeBron James broke the scoring record wearing purple and gold.
Yep.
That sets the golden standard for other franchises. Same thing. Like, we want to beat the Celtics eventually. We want to have 19 championships over their 18 eventually, or 20 over their 18. They have the record, whether I like it or not. They're the golden standard for championships. I hate to say it, but what the Lakers have always been is a star-driven town.
Yep.
We sell tickets. We put butts in seats. Even when we were winning 16 games during the Kobe rebuild years, we're selling out arenas, right? And
Bring the stars out.
yeah, we put the stars out. So why not break a record and make history? Game one of the season. Put them out there, man. Put them out there.
All right, Lakerland, y'all let us know what y'all think about Bronny James' reality in the NBA this upcoming season. Will we see him? How soon will we see him and his dad make history in Laker uniforms? For the latest and greatest on your Los Angeles Lakers, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and we appreciate the support. Follow us on social media at Lakerland Show, and join our Playback TV room for our free VIP access to our Lakers watch parties, and of course the Lakerland podcast. That's playback.tv/Lakerland.